Hey, it's another episode of the Bad Guy Spoken Podcast. We got your host, of course, Kenny. We got to my right, we got Sledge, and we got down here, we got TK. He's like, get the blood, the blade. Oh, oh yeah. He said, right. He was tripping that movie. So this is the Snowfall finale review. Maybe I don't know. So we're just gonna talk about what we saw real quick because that was wild.
That was wild.
Yeah, because that was wild.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Hey, nigga. And I'll take
back to it.
What's that lighter?
Teddy.
You used to R.I.P. Teddy. Fuck that nigga.
What? I know, right? Well, hold on. What?
R.I.P. Teddy.
R.I.P. Jerome. Now I'm about to say,
yeah. I'll give you that. Jerome's my favorite character, so definitely Jerome.
During that song, they normally showed a little montage of pictures of people off throughout. On filming, you gotta have it like R.I.P. Teddy, R.I.P. Jerome, R.I.P. Spoiler Alert Peaches, R.I.P.
Peaches,
R.I.P. Spoiler Alert Miguel.
Come get this Rottweiler.
Hey, Miguel didn't deserve none of that.
Miguel did. Hey, you know what? Look.
Which one's Miguel?
That was the nigga he killed. The dude that came over
when he tossed out the head.
Came off the safe.
He said, Franklin, wait. You don't want to do this, Franklin.
Nah, that wasn't Miguel. Nah, Miguel the one that opened up the safe for him.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought so. Who was the one? I forgot.
That was the. I know who you talking about. That was the KGB dude, whatever. The KGB spy.
What did KGB stand for?
Kilos, grams, and bombs.
Yeah.
Shut up.
All right.
That's not it, right?
I don't know. I just put the K and G and the V together. That's how you think I know?
Because I never knew what it stood for. Like I know what it is, but I never
knew it was a spy.
For.
It's international, I thought though.
That's like the Russian spies. Like just pretty much the Russian government, like their little.
So the KGB was the Hispanic dude, right?
Yeah, it says the KGB is the Soviet espionage.
The weird thing is it stands for Committee for State Security. I'm like, a K or a G or a B in that bit.
So I think mine sounded better.
KGB. Yeah, it did. So the KGB is.
It's in Russian. That's why.
The KGB was a Hispanic dude that was with Teddy. That got that tied up with Teddy. He was trying to, but that nigga's Hispanic, not Russian.
Yeah, that was. I think that was just bad casting.
And he was a little sweet. Remember Teddy had that on. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
He found the Playgirl magazines and stuff in his.
Hey, that was wicked, bro. That nigga was hiding behind the sky too.
Hey, yeah, he did a good job hiding that. Not good enough, but
he said he did a good job hiding that. Yeah, that shit was wild. But a lot of people, this is one of those things where like when you watch a drug dealing TV show or movie, there's rarely ever a good ending. And on the show Power, they said it best. He said, I've never seen an old drug dealer. He said they're either dead or in jail. He's like, and that's how it is here. This is the only one I think where they wasn't dead or in jail. He just he had a fate that was worse, in my opinion.
No, that's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's by far the worst because you rather be in jail or dead because now you're suffering.
Yeah, you said a sexy chocolate nigga like me.
Frank, about to say,
can't keep
Frank went out bad.
He didn't go out bad though. Like that's the thing. Everybody keeps saying that. Frank didn't go out bad. Like Frank did everything in his power to say that for himself still. Now I'm telling you, everybody keeps saying Frank lost it all. He didn't.
He
No,
did.
it got taken from him. He didn't lose it. It's not. Franklin didn't make bad decisions to lose that.
He did.
What bad decisions did he really make?
Remember with the wife, when the wife was like, "Hey, what's up with all this stuff?" You know, he's like, he literally sat there and said, "If I want to give that up, I can because it's mine." Like he was selfish.
Right. Okay. Then what did she do? Then what did she do from that though?
That was her fault though.
Exactly, because she went behind his back. So then what did she do? She took from him. He didn't lose it. Yeah. She took it. Like Teddy took it. Like everybody else took it. He didn't make bad decisions, and he let her know
he fucked up.
Was he tried to threaten her?
He made bad decisions because everybody on the show gave him a chance. Like especially towards the end, everybody gave him a chance, and he messed it up with everybody.
But Kenny, those are not good ultimatums, though.
That's what I'm saying. Who gave him a chance?
Here's the thing with the mom. He sat there and told them. The mom was like, "So do you care about the money more than me?" He was like, "Yes." Like he literally told her, like, "Yes."
But yeah,
so at that point, that's why she made a decision. That's why she made a decision to go. You know what? That's why she wanted them to ask. This was pretty much like she was already going there, planning to do that shit. All she needed, she just wanted that closure with Teddy real quick. She said, "Hey, do you really have him still?" He was like, "No, I said that shit to lie." She was like, "Bet." She was like, because she never planned on letting him get that money.
And what? That wasn't Franklin's fault. That was somebody that took something from him.
That is Franklin's
fault. That was not Franklin's fault. The thing is, she would have either killed him in that apartment, in that abandoned building. She would have killed him. She was gonna kill him out there. About to say the thing is, that was not Franklin's fault. His mom said, "Hey, what matters right now most? Me or money? Pick between me or your $37 million."
He chose the money.
$37 million fucking dollars. I'm choosing $37 million over my mom. I'm choosing $37 million over my mother too. And let me tell you why.
I'm not doing
that because of what you had to go through to get that.
Exactly. No,
I get that, but you saw throughout the show, like everybody had their vice, and his vice was money. And it made him to the point where he was like he may not have been crackhead like Wanda was, but he was a crackhead in his own way because he was a crackhead towards that money. Like he was acting like a fiend the whole last season. The way he was
hear me out.
Right.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
If you lose $73 million, you will become a junkie too. That's something else for me. I ain't talking about a junkie on drugs, but you're going to try everything in your power to get you're going to try everything in your power to get $73 million your money back, bro. You made that money. You worked hard to make that money. You was
earned
crack,
that
bro.
money.
You ain't have to.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree on that. The way they did him was dirty. But that's one of those things where it's like, okay, they did you dirty, and the people that you came up with, you turned your back on everybody. You got to the point where you turned on Jerome.
What?
No,
he didn't turn on.
He told them that he would kill them. He said I would kill you 100 times over for that money.
But let me tell you why he said that. Go ahead, CK. You're going to explain it. No, you're going to explain it.
Because Louis did him dirty first, right there.
Did this nigga dirty, bro? And then
Louis went behind his back.
See? Yeah,
I feel like Louis was the biggest villain because Louis wanted to do that shit. Louis did all that shit just to be seen. She wanted respect. And at the end of the day, she's hiding now.
Yeah, and that's why I said everybody went through a bad, like everybody ended bad, like everybody besides Lee, everybody
also bad. Also fine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's living good too, but everybody else is bad. Everybody else is bad off right now.
But see, everybody else didn't matter though, for real. Like Louis living bad, Louis did that to herself. You feel me? Everybody else, Louis did that to herself. Franklin didn't do that to her. Franklin didn't do that to himself, and the problem is Louis kept saying this is all Franklin's fault. No, bitch, that's your fault.
No, it's not. And
you
Sissy even said it wasn't. Sissy didn't even say it because if you remember, I forget what season it was. Maybe it was season 4.
Had his
back. You remember when it was season 4 when it was at the gas station? He was like, "I'm trying to get shit here." He had one of them. He just freaked out like, "I'm trying to get shit. You're fucking playing with me. Like you're fucking it up because you're trying to ask Teddy for a cut." But I'm paying the same shit you're paying. It'd be different if I was paying lower than you. We're paying the same amount of money.
Here's the thing about him, though. he lived on this thing where that's the problem. Another problem with these drug shows is the main character is always on. Everybody else that I work with is on a need to know basis. When you need to tell everybody what's going on, because when you start doing stuff and they start they're like, oh, no, I'm trying to tell you, every show is like this, and that's what happens because they get to the point where since you didn't tell us stuff, we don't know what the fuck's going on, so we start doing stuff. That's when Jerome did. Remember when they went out, they was like, we're gonna shoot the first Mexican we see. Remember they was like that because they didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was like, "Hey,
that was in what season 1, right?" And all that shit.
No. This was later. This was like last season. This was like season 4.
The first Mexican. I remember when the Mexican killed.
This when Jerome and them was pissed. This when Jerome and them was pissed, and he was like, "Get the fuck out of the car." That's when Frank was like, "Get the fuck out of the car." He started yelling at him. But throughout the whole show, it was like that. There was always been a situation where if Franklin was able to tell them the whole story, he never told them the whole story. He put them on a need to know basis. He pulled a what's his name? Nick Fury. He did that. He was doing that every step of the way, and that's the problem with these kind of shows.
But when you're that leader, when you're like in that position though, it is a need to know basis because at the end of the day, it
Frank
is
bought everybody.
But Frank made sure everybody was eating. Everybody to the table. Nobody could. But my thing is this: Louis wants more money. She wants more money. In order to get more money, I have to cut out a few expenses. So if I play you lower or change the plug, and Franklin's like, no, we can't do that because at the end of the fucking day, he's CIA. First of all, second of all, at the end of the day, this is the cheapest prices that we're going to get because low key he's getting that shit for free. So it's the cheapest shit that we're going to get. Third of all, this is where he fucked up at. Well, he didn't really fuck up. He had to do it. Remember, he got shot, so he couldn't do shit. So Louis had to take over. When Louis took over, Louis started figuring out shit like, oh, this nigga is really.
It got her.
Really, like, this is how much he's really making.
Here's the thing about that though. When you have that situation like that, you have Franklin here who was super trusting of Teddy. When you knew you shouldn't have trusted him from the beginning. Because that was you shouldn't have trusted him from the beginning. He was too trusting. I get that he was a kid.
He trusted Teddy because he didn't know really about the drug game. So he's thinking like, this is what I have to go through to be trusted to make sure I won't die because Teddy did get him out of jail. Teddy was cool, bro. Because you remember he even said it. He even said it in the thing like, bro, I considered you as a friend, nigga. Right. And Teddy, I considered you as a friend. And Teddy did too. Teddy considered Franklin as a friend, but he felt like he got betrayed when Franklin said, I wanted out. At the end of the day, Franklin wasn't a bad guy.
No, it wasn't. He didn't feel betrayed that he wanted out. He didn't have him under his leash anymore. He felt like because he pretty much low key. It was some slave shit the way he was. He treated him like a slave. He had him do his dirty work for him, and he reaped the benefits from it. That's what it was. And then when Franklin was like, "Hey, I'm not trying to do this shit no more. I'm trying to go legit." And he was like, "No." Like he pretty much was like, "No, I own." It was like the "I own you" kind of thing. Like, it was like a pimp. It was like a pimp towards him. He's like, "Bro, you gonna sit there and go? You gonna work that straw? Or you gonna do what I tell you to do?" And Franklin was like, because for this point, Franklin was like, "Bro, I'm out." At this point, he didn't realize Franklin's notoriety, and was like, "Hey, look, I can't have him around." That's when he was like, "We got to take this nigga out."
Like, he was like, but he seized all his money, and when he seized all his money,
that's when everything started.
That's when everything just started going downhill.
That's when everything went downhill, and that was nothing to do with Franklin. Franklin was like, "Look, you know what they always say: you get in there, you do what you do, and you get out while you can. You get out while you hide." Yeah. Franklin did all that. Franklin did shit the right way.
But with the drug game, there is none of that. There is none of that.
But there is that though. Like you just said though. You said you don't know no old drug dealers, or they all in jail, right? If you an old drug dealer, that means
that same thing happened on that show too.
But the thing is, if you an old drug dealer, you didn't do it right. You didn't get out when you were supposed to get out. So that's why you either in jail or you
I wouldn't say that. Or you did get out.
I would, because you got niggas that know. You got niggas that know the game. They get in there, they get what they get, and then they leave.
And they get
invest
in
other places.
I just feel like Franklin was
investing in businesses. He was investing in stocks. He had all type of shit. Franklin set everything up the right way to leave.
Yeah, and I just think that, and I honestly think that, because if like you said, everything comes around full circle. If you remember, exactly. Franklin got that money seized, $73 million seized. Don't forget, they was going to take that money from Teddy, and Teddy wasn't going to get that money, which came back full circle. They was going to take that money from Teddy, and he's like, damn. That's why he was like trying to hold off on something like, bro, just like wait. And then she hit him with the, hey, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant shit. So now Teddy has the Franklin syndrome. well, damn, nigga, I'm about to be a father. I need to get out this game. So everything comes around full circle. And nobody got to do what they really got to do. But I feel like, Teddy, if you didn't fuck over Franklin, you probably wouldn't be going through this.
It's one of those things where, like,
it's a trickle-down effect.
It's one of those things where, like, this is another thing with all the drug stuff. They try to live a normal life, but you can't do that when you have a family. Like, you can't sit there and try to, okay, I'm going to try to raise my kid right, but at the same time I'm doing this. Like, it's hard to do that because you have a target on your back at all times. And not only is it, okay, yeah, I may be safe. You may think you're safe. You got a situation where, hey, so one dude in the group's like, hey man, I need more money. And all of a sudden they try to take you out. You don't even know it, just because the fact that just is what it is. And that's why I think, like, there is no easy way out when it comes to that. That's why I said in the beginning there are no old drug dealers, because usually, like, when they do have old drug dealers in these movies, stuff like that, they're usually informants, and that's why they live so long.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. But the piggyback on the beginning, what TK said, I do see why people think Louis. I just feel like if we watch this show thoroughly, Louis started all this because
Louis set everything in motion.
Now you're complaining about a price that the price is good as hell. Let's be real here. It's a good price. Nobody. We're all living life. We all have Jam and Jerome. We have clubs. We have everything has their own thing. I have my projects. I'm giving back to the community. Everybody has their own thing. And you want to complain about a price when this same price is helping you get over. So then what happens is now I'm beefing with you. I don't beefing with you. Now we're through. I let you go on your own because it is what it is. And then I get all these people, and then it's just like, well, I'm trying to do everything best interest I'm trying to do what's best interest for me, but I still also care about my uncle and my aunt and everybody else. It's like he cared too much, but he wanted control. If that makes sense.
No. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but that's the thing about the whole situation is, at the end of the day, it may not be because in the show they made it like towards the end everybody just gave him an ultimatum and he chose the money every time. But you have
for $73 million, though, Kenny, you're changing.
No. I know that. I'm saying, and like when they really do this, it's not just, hey, choose the money or me. Sometimes you'll be in a situation where it's choose the money or them. It won't be just so cut and dry like that. You have to sit there and think about it like that.
All right, so my one thing off of that then, right? Y'all saying he was like choosing the money. So you saying he did. But when he did give up control, he said Louis could have Teddy. He did all that, right? And then that's when Teddy took his money. So what's the first thing he did? He went to Louis for help. It's not like he went to Louis, like he didn't go to Louis. He went to her with.
He said he took the money. I don't have no money.
He went to her to ask, hey, look, all I need you to do for me, I done did everything in the world that you asked me for. I done did everything under the sun. I done gave you power. I done gave you this. I done gave you that. I give. I need this one favor from you. I can't do that for you. So now I'm desperate. So yeah, I'm willing to kill you, or I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna threaten you right now, right? Because that's not right. I'm gonna threaten you. Then she got old dude to go behind her. And what's the first thing Louis say to? Oh, Franklin pulled a gun out on me. So now that sets my shit off with him. Like, you don't even know the situation. I came to you for help. Then what he do with Lee? He went to Lee for help. He went to this. He went to people. He went to his people.
Wait. Are you talking about when he went to Lee for help at the end?
No, not at the end. The first time he went to him, he got that $500K, whatever. But still, it's like,
okay,
bruh. But Lee know Frank. Lee know, like, at the end, Frank was desperate for money. Frank didn't. He was like, I'm gonna take that shit at the end because it's like, nigga, I need your help. But now you got somebody else. Every time Franklin asked somebody for help and they turned him down, he always tried to get a little aggressive with him. Then what happened? They always got aggressive back with him, and it made him feel like, damn, y'all's really gonna kill me though. Like.
but that's the thing. But I hear you on that. But the thing is, you're not gonna sit there and just threaten me, like, what I'm saying, pull a gun out on me. I'm gonna be okay with that. It just is what it is. I'm not gonna be okay with that. Because you never know what's gonna fall off the hand. If things don't go your way, and I say, hey man, I'm not feeling that, you be like, oh yeah, no, you gonna do it, and I pull out a gun. It's like at this point, it's an abusive relationship. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and do this with you.
No, but it's like when it comes down, it just trickled down because Franklin, when he lost that $73 million, he did ask to get the money back, and this bitch was like basically talking about like no, nigga, you on your own. I don't fuck with you. But then it was kind of salty because now it puts me in a hard place because, like, bitch, you really not my family. But now me and my uncle who took care of me, you know what I'm saying? I put him on because he took care of me. Now we're in a rock and a hard place right now because all you had to do was say, talk to Teddy. You didn't want to talk to Teddy. Like, even if he didn't get the money back.
But it was one of those things
where Louis just wasn't willing to help him at all.
Louis knew Teddy was a snake. Louis knew Teddy wasn't shit. That's the thing about him.
But the thing is, we didn't know Louis wasn't shit, and Franklin didn't know Louis wasn't shit. But when it came down to it,
you didn't even talk to Louis talk to the nigga. Shit. Like, you didn't even go to you didn't even get this nigga on the phone and be like, hey,
didn't want to help at all. Said, I'm sorry, Franklin. That's between you and Teddy.
I think with that, it was one of those things where it's like you put me in a position of power and I have to make these moves. It's like because he put her in the queen pin spot, right? He put in the queen, like for better words, put her in the queen's pin spot. Now you got me in control of this whole thing. I'm trying to make sure these moves are going out. It's like sometimes like I can't afford to give you. Like, weren't they going through some money issues too? When she was up there? I could have sworn they were. They were. I don't think they were good. I thought they was going.
She just took over from Teddy. So she just took over Franklin's spot pretty much. Franklin gave her that. I
could have sworn they did something. I can't remember exactly because it's been a minute since I watched that season.
Well, no, because then after he asked her for help, he went back and robbed him.
Yeah, you know what?
That's when they started going through their money stuff right there. Was right after that.
After who robbed who?
Franklin robbed them after he asked them for help.
Okay, no, I do remember. Okay. Yes, I don't know.
I'm just saying, Louis was
there ain't no honor among thieves. So
there ain't no honor among thieves, but Louis has always been the common denominator. Why? When Franklin took it, I wouldn't say his first ass whooping with him, but when Jerome whipped his ass the first time, why was it?
Because he disrespected the wife, wasn't it?
No, because I think she got shot or something, and then Franklin was just like, listen, bro, I think you got shot, and it had something to do with Leon, and he was like, bro, I can't let you do that. So Franklin took the L for Leon because of her. He got shot at the funeral.
The thing about Jerome was like, he was mainly like, hey, like because they both loved because she loved the drug game more. She liked the actual work of it. She liked being in charge. She liked doing all this shit. He liked the benefits of it. He's like, hey, I like chilling, getting money. You know, having these women around me. He was about that. So and then it got to the point where because towards the end he matured, and the only reason he even got back in there to help, this was her fault. But this was
all her fault.
No, because honestly, there was both their faults in towards his death. But the only reason he came back in there was to save her.
Both whose faults towards his death?
Franklin and what's her name?
How was that Franklin's fault?
It wasn't Franklin's fault. Don't forget, she hired Buckley to kill bro, and bro
how was that Franklin's fault?
Yeah, they already said Buckley wasn't shit. You're hiring a cokehead and crooked cop.
That was that had nothing to do with Franklin.
I'm talking about when Jerome got killed. I'm talking about then.
What did that have to do with Franklin?
It all nested over because of the old girl, and then
all because of Louis.
And then Louis didn't want to give him the money. They got into it. Something happened. Franklin almost got killed or something like that, I think. And then you remember he comes to the hospital bed where he's fighting for his life, and he whispers in his ear, Louis tried to kill you. Like, bitch, he ain't say Jerome. He said Louis. Like, bitch, you won't play me. I can play you better.
That was after he had robbed him, too. He took their money, and he let him know. It was Louis that did that shit.
And Frank was in there interrogating her, too. He was talking, because remember, he was in there asking the questions, too.
When he went back, all right, so when they found Louis, and they was trying to kill Louis, and Franklin went there and all that, and Frank about to say,
tell him what you want. Tell him what you want.
So she knew she needed a bargaining chip, right? But Franklin already had Gustavo helping him get to Teddy. So that's when she was like, I'll give you Teddy. Oh, she wanted to give him that to save her. But she didn't know he already had help. So he was like, no, I don't need that no more. Louis
I remember that.
She knew shit was slow for her then. But Franklin, still being a good guy, what did he do? I can't let Louis go through this. I can't let her do this. So he went on ahead and he told Jerome. Jerome hit up the cop dude, whatever. But the cop dude was high shit. I'm about to say, but they go there to save her. Jerome wouldn't have knew shit about that if it wasn't for Franklin. Jerome saved Louis. I mean, Franklin saved Louis for real. For her to still be fucked up.
Yeah, he did come back and save her, but it's one of the situations where it's like, This whole thing happened because it's like it didn't have to get here. Is what I'm gonna say. Is what I'm gonna say for that.
It never had to get here. Never had to get here
because of Louis. It's all because of Louis. You try to bring Franklin wasn't bad.
Franklin was bad because Franklin. We already seen the early signs of greed, and then like the last season was when it was like it blew out of proportion. But we've been
look. I'll tell you right now, the only bad thing Franklin did in my eyes that I can recall from every season and the last one was he killed Miguel, the dude that opened up the safe for him. That's the only real. That's the only.
He was tripping the whole time.
No. And I told you this the day after the show. I said every death, every murder that Franklin committed, they forced his hand.
Except for Miguel.
What was the first murder? The first murder. Franklin told bro, don't. I know that's your brother and shit. I know that's your people and shit. Don't go over there with these Mexicans, nigga. Don't go over there with these Mexicans. That was accidental. That wasn't even a murder.
I remember that one. Yeah, I do remember that.
He got shot in the leg. R.I.P. Sean Taylor. You feel me? Type shit. You know, that was an accident. Like,
damn.
I'm just saying, yeah, man.
Mel's dad.
Franklin was a good dude.
The whole show. He was a good dude. Mel's dad. You ain't gonna pull that.
Back to my the point about that though. When I said the fact that he like, because I was talking about each one. Like I said, Louis had a chance too, and that's why Louis is on the run now. But with Sissy, like I said, I was talking about Sissy turned on him. But like I said, we saw him like he was acting like a fiend towards the end. When he was asking the way he was asking people for money, and the way he was like, "Hey, look, if you don't go along." You know what I'm saying? Then they pull out the gun on him, whatever. Because remember he did that shit to Lee again this last time.
But he was desperate.
He was desperate, but it was one of those things where it was like Lee saw the early signs of him being an addict for like I mean, yeah, they made it physical with the alcohol, but he was literally like acting a fool when it came to the money because he literally was like, he said, look, can you get? He said, how much money do you have? He said, I think he said $3 million. He was like $3 million. He said, "Ooh, yeah." He said he wanted it all. It's like not even like, okay, let me get $1 million off you. He wanted all his money. Okay. That's wild. That's wild. Be like that's wild. And then when he said nah, and because he understood when he sat there and talked to him, he's like, bro, this dude is fiending for this shit. Like I guess like 17 million is a lot. I'm not gonna sit and act like it's not a lot, but he was fiending for it to the point where he said you gonna give me that money. And he was like, I can't do it. He pretty much told him, I saw what your mom saw right now what's going on with you. And that's when he pulled out the gun and he had all that security behind him. He said, oh, you gonna do me like this? Like you put it there. Like you had to go there. I don't have to do that.
In that scene, they never showed who pulled out the gun. I don't think that was Franklin.
No, Franklin did. Franklin pulled out his gun immediately. As soon as he said, I'm not gonna do this for you, he said, I thought about your mom. I'm not gonna do this for you. He pulled out a gun immediately. And as soon as he pulled out his gun, everybody pulled out theirs. And he was like, oh, you gonna do me like that? And he was like,
I seen one gun and I didn't know if it was Franklin's or theirs because I like I seen one kick him behind him. But my thing is right here. What did everybody kept saying to Franklin? What did everybody kept saying to Franklin? Just give up. It's not worth it, right?
He wasn't saying no.
But the whole time everybody just give up. It's not worth it, right? Just give up. It's not worth it. Just give up. Right. It's not worth it. They was right. Okay, they was right. Okay, so then how did it end? How did it end?
It ended with him being a wino.
It ended with him giving up. And it wasn't he gave up. But that's the thing. Everybody wanted him to end up like that. It sounded like that because nobody was willing to help him. Nobody was willing to help him. But then at the end, he gave up, and he was like. But when he gave up, he told him, "I'm free now. I ain't got no chain around my neck." But the thing is like.
But what was he? Wait. What was he free from that made him quote unquote free?
The crack guy.
What, money?
I was about to say money, possessions, all that. That was when he was quote unquote free. He's like he don't have to worry about nothing no more. That was the main thing that was bringing him down in the first place.
Right. But he don't got to worry about nothing no more because he did what everybody wanted him to do and give up and not care about that money. About to say
he wasn't giving up though. Remember, he was still on the phone calling him like, "Yeah, man, just give me one more week. Just give me one more."
Yeah, that was 3 months later, 5 months later. So we seen that progression. But then at the end, he never had it. He never could get it.
But the thing was, he was still pressed about it. He didn't move on to nothing. He literally was still pressed on that. It was years. It got to the point. I think
what was he gonna move on to? He had no money.
He didn't even try.
How could he move on? He needed how he was living. He had property. He had stuff, and everybody took his money. They took what he earned. Everything he built, They took it. He thought he had control of his situation, but he never did because everybody else around him was taken from him.
No, he had control. It was one of those things where everybody else saw a sinking ship and he didn't. It was one of those kind of things. They were like,
his ship was cool until Teddy took his money. Franklin tried to leave.
Everybody else was like, hey, everybody else was telling him, like you said, hey,
you give up, nigga. Give up, roll over and die. That's what they said. Roll over and die. And at the end, he kept fighting.
They just said you gotta stop worrying about that.
You gotta stop worrying about that money that you earned that they took from you. And what we gonna do? Taking your money?
He cut everybody off, and that's what did it. Now he's alone, drunk, and asking for $10 now. That like because you couldn't do nothing else. You it wasn't even like
20.
You gave
Andrew
up.
Jackson.
You said what?
He said, "Ooh, Andrew Jackson."
You said he gave up, right?
He gave up.
Because everybody kept telling him to give up. That's why he gave up.
It wasn't like it was. I'm saying like he could have did some other shit. It wasn't like he
what
could
could he have did? He needed money.
Get a job.
Get a job. Nigga, I made $73 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like, what do you mean he could have did something else? His credit was all fucked up because he didn't have money to keep building his credit or doing whatever he had to do. So his payments got lower and lower.
He couldn't get a job.
I made $73 before 25, and you want me to go work?
You want me to get a fucking job? Like what?
You have to. What you gonna do? Just sit there and be drunk? And that's what he did.
That's just not funny, bro. That's just fucked up how they did him.
No,
bro.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like
I made $73 million. I made $73 million in less than 5 years, and you want me to go back to work for $5 an hour at Burger King,
I get that, but it's one of those things where it's like, damn. It's like, damn, everybody else is moving on.
But don't forget, Kenny, he can't get a real job. You know why? Because at the end of the day, that nigga's a damn felon. He's a wanted felon. People were looking for him. Don't forget.
Okay. So that doesn't make sense. Then he was able to go into a prison and not get arrested.
It's the 80s. It's the 80s, bro. We don't have technology and shit like that, though.
They could do that.
But like he wasn't really wanted, but he was in question. That's why everybody knew who Franklin Saint was.
Because at this point, it was like
you really can't catch him
like 89, 90, something like that. They had computers then. They could have said
he went to the prison.
No, they ain't had no computers.
They had computers in the 80s and they had computers in the in 89.
Well, in 89,
it was 89. They had computers then.
Okay, so wait, who had computers? I don't think everybody had computers.
Definitely had computers. They could have easily searched them up.
They got a database, but they niggas are still using files and shit, bro. All I'm saying is this: it was 88.
The first computer was made in 74. So yeah, he definitely had the computers.
74.
Yeah.
Who made that?
It was 80. It was like 88.
I don't know the name, but it just says 74.
They couldn't stick Franklin on nothing because he never had his hands in nothing. You remember the black dude was like, "What about these killings? What about these?" He's like, "Bro, if you got me, then arrest me right now." He's like, "Damn, I really don't. It's just a bunch of he say, she say." Like, I really don't got you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey man, I'm just saying. Frank didn't deserve what he got.
It was one. I think he did. Like, I mean, not like because the way they set up is because we're watching from his perspective, so we feel bad for him. Like, damn, after everything he went through. But when you see it from everybody's perspective, they're like, bro, you really like. I'm asking you, like, hey, bro, like, do this and this. You pull a gun out on me when I don't do what you say, and that's how. Like I said, when Lee saw that, he's like, bro, I'm not about to help you. Like, you already acting like a fiend over this. Like, you about to rob me over this. Like, you were planning. Like, he literally pulled a gun. You were planning on robbing me if I didn't give it to you.
I tell you what, if Lee took it that serious and that's a heart, why did he come back to see him?
That's still his friend. He said, yeah, that's still his friend. He said, bro, you fucked up.
So that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you know your friend, like you know him. So it's like,
but that's not okay. Like
Louis, Jerome, and them. All right, look, time out. Frank pulled out a gun on Jerome. Right, Jerome smacked the shit out of Franklin in public. How many times? Franklin had every right.
That's your nigga, man. That's my nigga.
Right, but the thing is, if Frank was going to shoot him after that, that would have been the time to shoot him, right? Because you just already physically abused him. So Louis, I pulled my gun out on Louis after the conversation. You know me. You know I'm desperate. I need your help. Frank was showing signs of desperation that nobody answered, though, right?
Okay.
True. Right. Everybody keeps saying, "Hey, I can see this sign," and Frank, we can see this sign. We can see this sign. If you can see these signs, why are you not helping him?
Because
he was helping him.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end, when he asked for that money, it was like it's like when somebody's telling you like, hey, I'm getting off that crack, but just give me a little bit more and I'll be fine. It's like no, I'm about to give you shit. I'm about to help you with this. That's what that's why it ended like it did, because literally that's what the mom saw it, Lee saw it, and who else?
Well, let's not,
because them was the only two that was there for him at the end of the day.
And his wife's mom saw that shit. His wife's mom saw that, and that's when she asked him, like, "Hey, you really about to choose him over me?" And that's when she was like, "Look, I'm sorry, like all the stuff I've been through with you, I'm gonna roll with him."
I wasn't mad at V for that, because how dare you say you're gonna choose me over him, and you weren't really even a good mom.
No, and that's one of those things where it's like I can't remember the exact phrase, but it's like I'm familiar with this devil pretty much, like I'm familiar with, so it's like, okay, like I don't want to deal with that. It's like I know what that is, but I'm gonna roll with it, not knowing what he's like. And if she warned him, she's like, okay, when he start whooping your ass, and then what happened when he didn't get that money? He yoked her ass up.
And listen, and I want to speak on that too. I don't agree with it. I don't condone it, but I understand. If I go to this bank and I have a way out, and then when I go to this bank and I have when I'm over here making these calls, making these moves, and then some nigga that tried to fuck us over. Don't forget, he tried to fuck him over in the beginning. He comes to my house. That's disrespectful, bro, because I told you never to come back. And he knows I got leverage. So that means you told this nigga more than you have to know. So I get it. So then it's like, damn, bitch, you didn't even tell me that you called with this nigga, had a conversation. Because he knows more than we fucking know. So I'm not going to beat you up, but I am going to choke you and say.
But the thing is, the thing that I like is, if you ever even listen to him, he said, what did I say to you when we was on there? And I just said, I told you just to never go behind my back. And it's like, I just asked you, since you asked me for my loyalty. Yeah, I asked you for your loyalty. You was being unloyal. And then I told you, don't go behind my back.
You went behind my back, and
you did two things at the same damn time.
Bro, you went behind my back and lied. And then I got a better deal than what you was gonna get. And then I go wait, bro.
Then time out then. So then even with Louis, he asked her probably to be loyal and just don't go behind my back. And what Louis do? Unloyal and went behind his back.
I'm just saying, bro. I don't condone it, but I understand why he choked that bitch out.
I do. Hey, look, I don't condone it either. I feel like we should have that advertisement on there.
He's like, just make it know we do not condone this. I think it didn't need to get there, and it's one of those things where it's like I said, the mom was bad. I'm not gonna sit there and act like the mom wasn't bad. He was trying to tell her like, look, don't do this because she said, I see a monster. Like, that's a monster you're dealing with.
But Kenny, you can't do that because
you know what though? Hold on, Sledge. Let me say something. You said her mom seen a monster. And what V always said her mom was a monster. So it takes a monster to see a monster, right?
So who better than to get that advice from?
Right, but why would I listen? But what I'm listening to you for?
Oh, no, he's not. You know what? You're right, Mom.
But y'all knew what y'all signed up for. There was no way in hell.
But there was no way
in hell y'all thought Teddy's dad was gonna make it.
That's good. That's the way they set up the scene. But the thing was, like I said, you saw he was a monster because he's wanted to kill it, and like he was an innocent man. To be real, he was an innocent man, and he said, "I'm going to go through and kill." He said, "I'll kill your children. I'll kill everybody I have to get to this money."
Who was the innocent man? Teddy?
No, Teddy's dad.
That nigga, he was old. It didn't matter. He was happy to get out there home.
That's what I'm saying though, because we saw him becoming a villain. Like, he was a villain. And it was like it's slowly going to the steps.
Hold
like,
on,
yes.
Talking about, but we seen Teddy become a villain. Teddy killed Franklin's dad, so why couldn't Franklin kill Teddy's dad? Eye for eye.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing though about that. With Teddy, like I said, Teddy was a villain from the beginning. That nigga had him kidnapped. He kidnapped him to start the show off. Like he was a villain from the get go.
Okay.
He manipulated Franklin the whole time. He manipulated him. He knew what he was doing. Like I said, he used everybody. It was like a chessboard. He used everybody as the pawns. He made everything go in motion, and then when Franklin decided to be like, "Hey, look, you know what? I'm out of this." He said, "Oh, no, this ain't in plans. And that's when he was. That's when he got mad. It was what it was. He literally got sorry about
Franklin
that.
had to handle business.
And that's when he tried to check him. He said, "Look, I'm gonna take this money then." It was like a dad taking an allowance. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do this then." Now what?
An allowance, Kenny.
No, I'm saying that was his mindset.
Your
He was like, "I'm gonna take this from you. I'm gonna take this from you." And that's when Franklin was like, "You ain't about to." He's like, "You ain't about to hold me like this." That's why he got mad. And I understand that. But I'm saying the steps he took because he was mad was wrong, because he sat there and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill the dad." Then,
but that wasn't his first step though. That was
I'm just saying different stuff he did, because it's like you got that, and then the mom's like, "Look, this is a dead ship. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop doing this. At this point, we're gonna get to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I'm losing you." She feels like I'm losing you, like you're lost, because she even said that in the prison. She's like, I'm losing you, and then he was just like, "Nah, I'm gonna get this money." And she was like, "Look, you gonna choose me or this money?" He was like, "Money." And she was like, "All right, bet."
No, but I'm happy. Go ahead, because I'm gonna let you finish. But I'm happy that you're on this, because I have a lot to say about 60 Cent.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because literally he did that, because at that point she was like, the only way I'm getting out is because she's like, I've already lost you, to the point where it's like, you know what? She's like, fuck the money at this point. She's like, you chose the money over this. Fuck that money at that point. Bow. I'm going to jail. Now I'm at peace with myself now. That's what she was on. She was, I'm at peace with myself now. That's what she went to jail, and she was just calm. You know, she was sitting there just like this. And Frank
so the thing is,
give my fucking money. And that's when she was just sitting there like, you still ain't changed. Put that phone in the thing. Wait for Leon.
That
Leon
was wild. But that was wild.
No, I'm just saying. Leon came in there, and what did Leon do? Leon said, "How you living up in here, man?" She's like, "Oh, you know, this and this. You know, I'm fine, blah blah. You need this and this." She was giving advice. He's like, "You know what? I'm gonna take that advice." And then she go back in there. Then Frank would come back in there. Frank come back. Come on, man. Let me sell the house like a crackhead. Let me sell the house, baby. Come on, let me sell the house.
But where's he at, Kenny? He's at his last resort.
And that's what I'm saying.
But from her point of view, when a crackhead is up to you talking about, "Come on, baby, let me sell this. Come on, let me get back on my feet."
Yeah,
bro, that sounds like a crackhead.
But it sounds like a crackhead. But it's because I'm the one that, at the end of the day, it comes full circle. I'm the one that sold you this crack. Quote on. In hindsight, I killed Teddy. So now you're acting like I'm what I did.
Even with him being a crackhead or an alcoholic, what they say. Fucked up minds speak the sober truth. That motherfucker said, "Let's be honest, you're not getting out of here."
But you know why?
Why you not getting out of here? Because you made it. So look. Her piece.
Because without me, you can't get out.
Her piece was more important than Franklin's piece.
She wasn't worried about getting at that point. No, it wasn't about. It wasn't.
No, her piece. No, because she's at peace.
I'm not about to. She said, "I'm not about to feed to your addiction." So she said, "You know what? I'm going to be at peace with myself in jail." She was like, "Fuck it. I lost you. I have nothing else in this world. All I have is you, and I lost you at this point. So I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be at peace." And that's what she said. That's she said. You know what? You said, "Go ahead."
Let's be real. That's a cop out for 60 Cent, because let's be real.
Cop out.
When Franklin was selling that dope, you was so against it. But then when that nigga started putting shit in your name
you was all the way with it.
You were
No. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's one of those.
She said, "Let's burn this city down, baby."
You riding the high with everybody. Like she was riding the high like everybody else was. Everybody said, "You know what? We enjoying this money." But then it got to the point where, hey, niggas is dying over this. I'm losing family. I lost my brother.
No. And she was cool. She was cool with losing family. She was cool with losing. What happened was Teddy killed Alton and what's his name? Alton? Is that his name?
Yeah. No, she wasn't okay with losing family because that was the whole thing. She's like, make sure y'all come home safe. That was her whole thing. Like, make sure y'all get home safe. Like, she's like,
I'm saying,
I can't stop you. She like, just want to say, I can't stop you, but make sure y'all get home safe. Type of thing. And then she got to the point where when she lost her husband, and then she was like, "Damn, I really lost my husband." She was sick about that. Then she lost.
What are you really?
Then she lost her brother, and she said, "Damn, all I got left is you, Franklin." And then Franklin's like, "Man, come on, baby, come on." Okay. And then she's like, "Damn, I lost Franklin."
Okay, so let's go back to the original. Let's go back. Let's take it a little bit further. Let's go back because can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm listening.
Let's go back because this heifer had the audacity. So what happened is you're let's be real here. Your quote unquote husband, the nigga that fucked you over, you went back to. This nigga is the real reason why y'all niggas is in the pickle that y'all were in. You told on Teddy. You ain't had no business telling on Teddy. Mind your fucking business. Cause your shit was your shit was funded by crack cocaine. That fucking shelter was funded by crack cocaine.
Oh yeah.
And you want to tell Teddy and Blase Skip, and I'm just like, bro, like, what is your problem here? Like, you want to tell, like, you was cool with it, and then you was like, Alton died. Okay, so now you want to find the person that killed Alton, but you know, why are we not telling Alton to mind his fucking business? But that's where my frustration is. You're so quick to tell, but you're so quick to tell Franklin and Jerome where they're wrong and Louis where they're wrong. But Alton, do you know what you just fucking did? Because at the end of the day, Teddy could have said fuck everybody and killed all y'all niggas. To be honest with you, he could have. But he just wanted Alton because
he wasn't going to do that because he was setting them up. Like I said, Teddy was the like when we say the man, that's Teddy. Yeah. Teddy is the man.
I agree. But my thing is this though. Sissy Saint has so much to say about other motherfuckers, but who is the main reason why they're in this pickle? If he doesn't snitch,
Teddy?
Yeah, no, Teddy's not the real. I don't think Teddy. I think Alton is really the villain of this shit because everything was cool until Alton. Bruh, everything was cool until Alton went on the radio, national radio, and said Teddy makes such and such, works with the CIA.
But even after that, it was cool. Like shit got, bro.
Never got better.
Nothing stopped. Nothing stopped. Alton disappeared.
Nothing stopped. No, Alton, listen, it never stopped, TK, because let me tell you why. If you watch the shows, they always have Franklin on radar. They just can't prove Franklin in the act because Franklin is like, you're never going to catch me in the act. You're going to catch these other motherfuckers. Hence why they got her on tape and she's on the run, and Franklin was never on the run, but Franklin was the fucking ringleader. So at the end of the day, it never really does. It like you really fucked it up. We were living a low profile life until your daddy wanted to wear the mink coat, and now everybody sees you. Real talk.
He called him Frank Lucas.
He called him Frank. Okay.
Bro, if your dad never would have said this, bro, y'all probably could have went about 3 or 4 more years. Because listen, bro, it's a trickle down effect. If your dad never says this, Teddy probably lets you get out the game.
I don't think so.
Teddy probably, if Teddy don't let you out the game, he'll give you a little bit of break. Hey, well, if you ain't gonna be out the game, he'll. I just feel like Teddy was just like, bro, your dad really fucked me up. Like I was already fucked up because my brother's dead. This job is stressful. I can't see my son. But your dad he
ain't care about his
but like he cared about it because he knew he was a deadbeat.
I don't think he didn't care about the dad. I think the dad was the breaking point for the mom. That was his purpose in the show. He was the breaking point for the mom to be like, you know what? I don't care about living lavish no more, nothing like that. I want to be out. Like I want to be out. She's like, Franklin, I want you out. And that's when Franklin wasn't ready to be out.
Franklin was cool with it. But Franklin was cool with it. Like you said, he wasn't ready to be out with it. Then he found out he was about to have a baby. He was like, hey, bro, I have no choice but to get out. But my thing is this, though, because if it shows at the end of the season, when she told Teddy that she was about to have a baby, she felt the same way. Teddy felt the same way Franklin felt like, bro, I gotta raise this kid at the end of the day. So that shows me that Teddy has a heart. But when a nigga puts all your business on Front Street and makes the block hot to where they don't want him in the CIA no more, I gotta kill you, my nigga. So now it's business with you. It's still business with Franklin at the end of the day. But I don't really fuck with you, bro, because look at your damn dad. Like, bro, your daddy is really the reason why all this shit hit the fucking fan.
Well, Teddy, Teddy didn't care about his kid. He didn't care about Franklin's kid. Yeah. He didn't care for like Teddy was selfish from the beginning. Like I said, he was manipulating everybody, like I said, just like a chessboard. He didn't care about nobody but himself. Because when he was like out, he said, "Look, I'm gonna go take my money and dip." That's pretty much it was. He's like, "I'm gonna take my money and run." He Enron them niggas. Like we gonna be real.
My thing is, I have a question that was always left open though, for real, kinda. So you remember when Teddy's baby mom came through and she was pregnant, whatever, and she came up in there and it was Teddy and his girl. We never even seen what happened to Teddy's girl after all.
Oh, yeah.
But my thing is,
I think Teddy's girl was the worst.
She moved on.
Teddy's baby mom said, I'm going to have this shit handled. If you need to get that money back to Franklin, or it's going to be handled with a public execution.
She's going to do the same thing Alton did.
Pretty much.
She was go to the media or something. You think that's what?
Yeah, because she knew all this nigga's business, bro. And that's, remember in the earlier season, she knew all this nigga's business, and she knew Teddy was crooked. She knew it. She knew this nigga was on drugs.
Here's the thing about that though. Like she was saying that to she was pretty much saying like, hey, look, because she was worried about the family. She's like, I'm worried about my family. I will snitch on you pretty much. That's what she was. And he was so thirsty about controlling the hood that he didn't even fuck about his own family. He didn't realize it, that he was fucking up his own family life. And it got to the point where the niggas got wiped out. Like, there was some niggas getting killed. That's right.
It's just funny how she spoke that up, though. That was that foreshadowing shit, because she said a public execution, and Franklin's mom killed that nigga in public.
Exactly.
So it's just
exactly.
Yeah. I just feel like if Alton, it would have bought these niggas at least 3 more years. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
I tell you what, Franklin ain't give a damn about Alton either. Because when Teddy tried, he said, "Fuck Alton." Nigga, like,
no, yeah. He saw Alton as a wino. He said he's like, even when he was cleaned up, he's like, that's still the same drunk nigga I see all my life.
But you remember, but no, you are right. But you remember, Franklin, Teddy was going to kill him, and Franklin was like, I can't let you kill my dad. I can't let you kill Alton. But
that's still his dad. That's still his dad. But he's like, he don't give.
He had it was the Louis treatment. Like, I can't, like, as much as I want this motherfucker to get what he deserves, I can't go out like that. Like, that's just not. And
the thing is,
that's not what we are.
Nobody cared about Franklin like that.
And that is true. I think Lee did. I think Lee cared about Franklin more than his mother, because at the end of the day, people would be like, there's nobody that was going to win. And in the story, nobody won. We know that. But I think Franklin was going to get that money. And let me tell you why. Because Teddy has never been on the receiving end of torture.
He hasn't.
Yeah. And that's what he was salty. He said, hey, you don't want to do this. He was like, the FBI's gonna be all over you. He's like, you ain't fucking with the FBI no more. Like, he's like, we know this. Like, you think your one bargaining chip, the only bargaining chip you have is the money. He's like, other than that, that's always what we hear now. He's like, you can't sit there and you have nothing against me at this point. You just gotta give it that money. That's all I need.
You just gotta give it the money. And then you remember, so then he was like, I'll give you 37. And then let's take it back. When Sissy Saint came in and was like, listen, I'll talk to you. I want answers about Elton. And he lied to her. And then she was just like, she didn't really believe the lie at first. And then she was just like, well, you better tell this nigga where this money is so your shit can be dead. She wanted this nigga and Teddy dead regardless. And then Franklin didn't really want to kill Teddy. His hand was forced about to kill Teddy. He just wanted his money back. That's why he was just like, money. 37 million? Yeah, 37 million? Fuck it, I'll take 37 million, because if I can make 73, I can definitely double this 37. Let's be real.
He said, I'll take it.
He said, I'll take it. He said it so quick because he knew, like, bro, he knew Teddy. Bro, don't forget, Franklin knows Teddy just as well as Teddy knows Franklin. You know what I'm saying? So,
with splitting in half, he was never going to do that. First off, he was never going to do that with him.
I think he would. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I think he would.
No, he was not. He definitely was not.
Let me tell you why. Because you remember Dude came, because Teddy, because the agreement was you need to bring the KDB guy and Teddy, and you will get your money. Teddy has never been on the receiving end. If you remember, they were talking, and he was like, how do I know that you're not going to come back and get me? And that nigga said, he was like, listen, bro.
He was breathing.
Hey, I'm tired. Hey, exactly. Hey, this shit. Hey, I ain't never been on this end before, and let's be real, bro. We done did tit for tat too long. This shit gets tiring. And he like that's what basically he was saying. Like we didn't tit for tat so long. Fuck it. I still get 37 million plus whatever in my life, and you can get 37 million and leave me the fuck alone, because that's what you really wanted in the end, bro. I don't want to kill you.
He wasn't going to give him that. It was one of those things where he tried to do anything. He was a snake. He tried to do anything he could to weasel his way out of the situation. He was like, I'll give you half. I'll give you half. I'll give you this.
No. And that's why. And I think that, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people saying the same shit you're saying, Kenny. But I look at it differently, bro. When you're on that other side of torture, just like how, think about it. Javi always was torturing motherfuckers. And then when Javi got tortured, he was like, I'll give you Teddy. That nigga like, that's not good enough. He said, I'll give you Teddy. He's like, that's not good enough.
I get what you're saying about being on the other side of torture, but it wasn't that though. Because the thing was, Teddy's whole thing was, Teddy didn't even like, Because even when the new girlfriend was like, look, if you just give him this money, this whole thing will be over with. That's pretty much what she was saying. She was like, this whole thing will be over with you getting the money. He was so thirsty for controlling everything. He just had to control everything. And Frank was the same way. And
but
in a way, they were like,
they were too.
They were in a way that, and
they were the same way.
That was their whole dynamic. That was the whole dynamic of their show, was the fact that these two were so desperate for control that it fucked everybody else in the process. That's the whole point of this. They were so desperate for control, it fucked everybody else in the process.
But Teddy it's just with me, I think he was going to get that money because at the end of the day, let's just say Franklin didn't get the money and let's just say Franklin didn't get the money, he was going to go to jail. Let's be real. All right, let me hear you out. Hear me out. If he wasn't going to get the money, he was going to get to jail. The KDB guy was going to, like, bro, we still don't get who we need. Like, we still don't get what we really want because it really wasn't about the money for Franklin and them. I mean, for Teddy and them. It was really about, I need this KDB motherfucker off my ass, bro, because they're going to catch us and they're going to fuck everything up.
I think I don't think it was that for Teddy. I think it was literally just the control.
They're going to start another world war.
For Teddy, it was about control.
Yeah, but
Franklin didn't want. Franklin just wanted what he made. That's it. He just wanted what he made.
Yeah, I understand that. Nobody can be really mad at that. But the whole thing was about the control.
Like your job doesn't give you your check.
Right. But the thing is,
your job didn't give you your check. You would feel the same fucking type of way. Hey, because don't forget, bro. Teddy, bro. Let's be real, bro. When Teddy and that other, I forget what the other CIA agent was talking, bro. They like, bro, we got to get this nigga off our back.
Because the thing about
because if he's not
he's messing up
off our back, it's a fucking runner, bro. The only person that had the password was Franklin.
See the thing about that is the thing about that whole thing with the I guess get him off his back. Like I said, he was because Teddy would like I said he was trying to like move the pieces around the board, but the thing about Franklin was it was one of the things where Franklin was getting too smart and he didn't like that. It was one of the things where he was like, oh wait a minute, like I don't like what he's the moves he's making.
He knows too much. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's turning into me.
So he couldn't control him like he wanted to, and that's why he took the money in the first place. So he thought he still had a control over him, but he didn't know he was going to be on a murderous rampage over that money. That's where Teddy messed up, and that's what Teddy was like. What are you doing? He's like,
yeah. And I see what you're saying. I'm just saying, bro.
He still saw that little kid he got in the beginning, and he's like, I'm not that little kid no more. Like I am a drug kingpin now. I am that dude. I run everything now.
Yeah, and I just feel like Teddy, on the other end because he's about to have this baby. He does try to get the fuck up through. He doesn't want to die. I don't think Teddy wanted to die. And if Franklin would have killed him because I have nothing else to lose. And that's what the last 3 episodes were basically about. Like y'all see it as Franklin went crazy. I see it as I have nothing else to lose.
Feel me? And that's what I'm looking at.
I have nothing else to lose.
Desperate.
I didn't say he went crazy. I said he went cracky.
Bro, but okay, and he did. But y'all gotta understand something. It's not like Franklin just went off the deep end off dribs. The nigga went step by step, and everybody is a killer till you push him to the what? TK. You feel me? You feel me? At the end of the day, Franklin was like. At the end of the day, let's be real. Every drug movie we done seen, almost every drug dealer that we know of or who we think is sell drugs, we know, hey, that nigga's done killed somebody before. It's a part of the game. But Teddy was getting tortured. They were torturing this nigga. And Teddy's usually tortured. And that's why, bro, if you wasn't going to give up that money, you wasn't even going to talk about half. You was going to be like, bro, you got to kill me. You got to kill me. You feel
but
me?
he was still on that because he tried to, like I said, he tried to weasel. Like he really tried everything possible. When that man burnt his chest up with that grease, he was still talking about some. Oh, you don't want to do this, like, bro.
Yeah. But, like,
what are you talking about?
Kenny, you have to try it. You have to try and get the man to you got to try and get this man to let you go scot-free with not giving him nothing. Have some damn empathy.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the fact that. His character, Teddy's character is literally it's not even like, okay, I'm gonna give you this money so you can get off my back. It's I need this control. I need to be able to take it because I literally if I don't have y'all to make my moves for me, I am done. And that's the thing. He needed them. He needed to make the moves for him.
Yeah, but he was gonna make. But you got to don't forget, bro. He had the Russians on his ass too. But
but that wasn't the main thing. His main thing was about that control.
But Teddy still had control because guess what?
Not there.
73. You still didn't get. Because you didn't get $73 million.
Right.
You know what you got? $37 million. So for real,
he would have took the whole thing from him. He didn't want to give him nothing. He was like, look, I can't let you do this, pretty much. And that's when he was like, all right, bet. Burnt the nigga's chest up. And the mom went in there, tried to negotiate with him. That didn't work. And then that's when
he tried to go in there and negotiate with him. It didn't work. And then they started seeing shit like, bro, I'm really about to get. Then I think Teddy knew shit was fucked up. He already knew shit was fucked up when also turned on him. He said, oh shit, I can pay you more. Nah, nigga. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. Because at the end of the day, Teddy was fucking over everybody. And let's be real, everybody knew Teddy was fucking everybody over. But like you said, Kenny, we couldn't really do nothing because you're Geppetto and we're Pinocchio. But now we got the strings. but it's one of those things where, bitch.
I was about to say that too. This is one of those things where, yes, you may have the money, but I want these chains off me, and that's how everybody else was. And Franklin didn't care about that. He was so thirsty about having that money. That's why he was
But we can't be mad at Franklin for wanting $73 million. That's
no, I'm not mad at that part. Again, I'm not mad at that part that he wanted the money. I get that you had $73 million in your bank account, also that shit got taken. I'm talking about the fact that it was the moves he made after. That's what I'm saying.
Lucky he didn't kill nobody when he seen it. Lucky he didn't kill the bank attendant.
When he told him that news.
Yeah, because listen, bro, he got it twice though. Don't forget, bro, two times in a row. You know, and then like Sissy killed Teddy. So now he's trying to get the money back. Of course, Franklin is out of his fucking mind, talking to his mom crazy because he has nothing.
You said you brought up the bank thing. Remember what he said? Remember when he was in there talking and you saw in his head how he was thinking one thing, but he could barely get it out because he was so flustered. He was so flustered, and the alcohol was like, he was just like, man. Oof.
Because the thing is, but that all hit him like that though too, because he just warned her, like he just told her, and then he goes in there and she takes out $84,000 or whatever, $80,000.
I think it was $55,000.
Hey, that's a lot of money.
No, it was $800,000.
It was $800,000.
It was $800,000.
All that money we stole, all that crack we cooked to even get us. Because don't forget, Franklin wanted the $73 million off of principle. That's why it's about power. It was principle.
I get that, but that killed him at the end. Like, I mean, he didn't live.
It killed him at the end.
Like, because you can, because when you said 800,000, right?
Yeah.
You can live 800,000 in 1990, whatever. You can live good off of
1988.
You can live great off of that.
The thing is, he couldn't with all the stuff that he had going on already.
But he was, because if you remember, he told V, he said, hey, I got it. This is after he choked her. He came back. Took his jacket off like, I sold it. I sold it for a good buy. I sold it to the man that my mom told me not to sell it to. Because remember, he was already saying fuck his mom. He's like, I sold it to the man my mom told me not to sell it to. And I told her black ass that we should have sold it to this nigga in the first place and we wouldn't have been in here. Now everything is right. And V is like, this nigga has lost his mind. But V should have been like, this nigga has lost his mind. Let me get with this little bit of money and bounce. Because Franklin was back to normal. Because I got money coming in now. I have another. My plan D actually worked. But bitch, you stole the money, so now the plan D don't work. Because remember, he was like, I sold it to him. I got him on the phone. Hey, I want to do this. I want to switch these accounts. I want to put money in here. He's making moves now. He's feeling like himself. Got a little drink in his system. He's feeling like himself. He's feeling like himself now.
That's not. I was saying that's not good. Like
but you remember, Kenny, bro, you remember they was like, bro, we haven't seen Franklin's. If you like in the little groups that I'm in, they like, if you watch the last 3 episodes, he's never smiled. When he sold that steak and was about to get all that money back, they said when he stole all that steak and he was about to get all that money back, he was smiling. He took his jacket off. He was smiling and everything, like, bitch, I'm back, baby, I'm back. And then he goes to the bank. He's smiling with bro, like, I'm back, nigga, I'm back. And he like, nah, is this the same thing that Miss Veronique was talking about? And now this nigga snapped. Bro, she didn't leave him nothing. She could have left that nigga $2,000. If she would have left that nigga $200,000, I guarantee you, Franklin Saint is a hustler. Franklin Saint was gonna flip that money. But when you leave this nigga nothing,
but he did.
and
But
then,
that's the thing. He lost that whole drive at the end. He lost the whole hustling drive.
Bro, it just sucked it out of him. Bro, but you know, like it's life, bro. It's shit. It sucks the shit out of you. And then, like you said, not only that, bro. Let's be real. You said years go down. I mean, months go down, years go out. He's calling people. He's getting frustrated. He's saying shit out of anger. But let's not act like that phone call that he got from V really wasn't the icing on the cake. Like, damn, bitch, I can't even see my son. So now I'm an alcoholic, can't see my son, and I have nothing. Guess who I am? My fucking dad.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely at the end. That's the thing. Like, everything came full circle.
It comes full circle. Now I started out worse. I finished worse than I started out. Like I was broke when I started out, but nigga, I'm you ain't never been like that. Fuck out. Yeah, I'm asked the fuck out now. Like, I'm asked the fuck out. And he had, like you said, TK, he gave up. Because it takes a lot out of you. Because how many times do we see this nigga always figure it out? And that's why every season, every episode, we like, I fuck with that nigga Franklin Saint. Franklin Saint's the fucking man. For the first time, we sat here and said, damn, this nigga Franklin Saint really went outside. Right? To the point that we knew this nigga personally and we were hurt.
And but that's what I'm saying. That's the perspective, though, because every drug show that's ever been out that I've seen, it's the same thing. They start
I never
off.
felt like this after this drug show. I've never. The Wire.
I have. Breaking Bad had me like this. Power had me like this. I said Breaking Bad and Power.
Power. I ain't never seen Power though, but I've seen the
Breaking
Wire.
Bad, I ain't feeling shit.
I've seen a lot of drug movies. I've seen a lot of drug movies, and I felt bad. Like, damn, that's just the game. But I ain't never be like, damn, bro, I want to cry for this nigga.
But I'm saying that's the perspective, though, because you get to the point where you're first getting in and you see the reason why they're starting in the first place. That's pretty much the timeline for each one. You see they first get in because it's like, okay, this is my problem. This is my solver right now. Like, I need to sell drugs to solve the problem. Then you get to the point where, okay, we're doing this. Then you're like, okay, I can get out. But then usually they're their own downfall, and that's how it is with each one. Power, his downfall was the fact that he got to the point he got so confident, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to sit there and since I've run everything, I'm going to run for governor." And that's how he and that being his downfall. He cut everybody off, burned all them bridges, and got cut off. Then you got Breaking Bad. Did the same thing, except not going for governor, but he was like, "Look, I'm going to be the biggest drug lord ever." Even though you had several chances to get out, he chose to, I'm going to be that dude. I'm about to be the biggest kingpin ever, and got himself killed. Then you got this same thing, and literally got to that money, and then he was just like, "Well," but
it just drained you, bro. Like, he was so drained that Leon gave this nigga an outlet, and he didn't take it
at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, because that point, like he was like,
talking about at the end and helping out people.
Yeah, like remember Leon was
Frank. But what did Frank say before that, though, when they was walking to the store? He said, you giving niggas the opportunity to help themselves that don't want to help themselves or some shit like that, right? Franklin didn't want to help himself at that point.
Yeah, because he was drained. He was defeated. He was drained. He was defeated,
bro.
Yeah. But like you said, like, and that's true because Leon can't. The fact that and people be like, well, Leon's to blame too. And I was like, bro, I can't blame Leon because Leon can't.
I'm not blaming Leon at all.
Yeah, the blame for me is Louis. That was the start of everything.
I don't even blame her like that. I really don't.
I blame Louis.
You blame Teddy. You blame the man. You blame the man.
It's really for like I really think this whole thing is literally Teddy and Franklin butting heads over control, and everybody else got affected in the process.
Let me ask
you. I ain't gonna do that.
How did Franklin and Teddy bump heads over control when Franklin knew Teddy had all the control? They didn't bump heads over control.
He didn't realize that. And that's what Louis and them were telling him. It was like, bro, you especially Sissy. Sissy kept telling him, like, bro, she's like, that's FBI. You think you're gonna get away with this?
I have a question. Because you said you're not blaming Louis. You said you don't want to blame Louis for it when she's the one that said she wants control.
I want to know the price.
She literally said, I want control. I want to be seen. I want to be respected. She wanted all that stuff. She wanted everything that Franklin got done to him.
No, and that's what I was saying earlier. I said she liked the selling drugs aspect of it. Jerome liked I might like being flashy. At first, Franklin was all about hey, let's get this money so we all can build this community. That's the thing. When he was trying to spread his love out there.
But he still was though. But think about it though. He never stopped. He never
the downfall was Louis. In my opinion,
I don't think it was. I really think it was because of Franklin and Teddy.
He's the one. But you keep saying Franklin wanted control, and he's bumping head with control when Louis literally said, "I want control."
She did, and that's what I'm saying. She wanted to do that.
How did Franklin want control when he gave that? Like, he didn't care. At the end of the day, Franklin just wanted his money.
He did care, and if anybody felt, look, he did care, and if nobody felt like what he said, he pulled out the gun every time.
But every time he did that, though,
that's my last resort.
All right, so look, Kenny, right? Look, he pulled that gun out on Louis before, right? Yeah. If he wanted to see Louis die, he would have never went back for it. In. He asked her for help. He asked her for help in the beginning. He asked her for help. She said no. In the end, when she needed his help, what did he do? Went back to help her.
But like I said, it was one. Like I said, this was the abusive relationship. It was the
there was nothing you can say. There was nothing. I don't know what else you can say to that, because it's like, I asked you for help. I asked you for help. You told me no. You sat here in my face and denied me. And then when you're in your worst spot and you need my help, I still come back. When I was in my worst spot and needed to, I wasn't even in my worst spots yet. This was just the start of it. This was at the beginning, so you could have helped me solve it.
Right. It was early in the game.
You said there's a solve, then there's a problem. Okay, I asked you a question, whatever. I asked you for help. You said no. Now we all trickle down. We trickle down. Now it gets to this point where, damn, you about to get killed. You about to get whatever was going to happen to Louis that night. Wasn't nobody else in that position to help her, was there?
But wait. Why was he asking for help?
But who?
But Franklin. Wait, why was he?
But he wanted control. But by then, Louis already had. He just wanted his money. That's all he wanted, was his money. By saying he went back to help.
Why? Okay.
First time, then she didn't help you. So what did he do? He said, "Look, I'm willing to do anything. I'll kill you 100 times over." Then he went and robbed her. Yeah. That wasn't tit for tat. Like, all right, so even the tit for tat, even the whole tit for tat part, Franklin went back. The last tat could have been her dying in there in Jerome and nobody knowing what happened. They just know that she got killed by the Kane and them shit. But that was the last tat.
He needed her to get the money, though. He needed her to get the money.
He didn't need her to get the money. He had Gustavo. He didn't need her. But he went back and he said, yeah, I need all the help I can get. But that's just because
that's why I say he needed her.
He didn't need her.
No,
it's just two hands are better. Two hands are better than one. I don't really need your help, but I ain't gonna turn it down.
But what was the plan? The plan was he said he got her to lure Teddy out to be like, hey, I got Franklin. And then when Teddy came over there, they double crossed him. They needed her. It's one of those things where they need, like, yeah, I'm not messing with you right now, but I need you to do my plan. I need this for my plan. So that's why I said they're butting heads, because at the end of the day, this was all Franklin and Teddy butting heads.
Franklin did not need her. Franklin.
He did. He had to get that plan going. He had, because somebody had to call Teddy to come over there, and who wasn't going to call him? Go ahead. You break up real bad. Just letting you know.
At that time, Franklin did not need. He had Gustavo ultimately helping him. Gustavo was the one that came in there. He helped save turn on him potentially. Teddy ain't care about Louis. Franklin didn't need Louis. Franklin included Louis, but Gustavo was the biggest one in that situation.
But Louis had to get him out there because if Louis making that call saying I got Franklin's what set the whole thing in motion.
I get that part, but I'm just saying that could have, like,
he needed her. He needed all the pieces on the board. They all needed their pieces on the board to do what they had to do. And that's what I'm saying. It happened. We saw it.
So if he let Louis die that night, you don't think he would have figured out something else to get to Teddy? I think he would have.
What was he going to do to get Teddy at that point? There was nothing. There was nobody.
He could have found his ex-wife.
There's nobody that had a beef with Franklin like that.
Had other to pull him out. No, I'm saying, but he didn't need Louis for that. He included Louis. He didn't need.
He had to. He needed Louis for that.
I would not agree with that. He found his dad on his own, didn't he?
Yeah, he found his dad
on his own. He could have found. But I mean, he could have found his kid, like he said he did. He could have found his wife.
But it's not even. But it's not even like. It's not even like. Oh, his dad was hiding. His dad was in the nursing home. Yeah, he was in a nursing home.
The thing is, though, all right. So if Teddy knew, though, you think like if Teddy knew he was looking, you never know what Franklin's looking for, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like he could have, bro. Franklin would have been cool. He didn't need Louis. He didn't need Louis for that. In my opinion.
he needed Louis. I think he needed.
Honest, I was hoping Louis died that night.
I mean, we all were hoping Louis was would get killed because because the character they set up.
It don't sound like you was. It sounded like you was like, nah, Louis was an angel.
No, I never said that. I was just saying she wasn't the overall downfall. I think the overall downfall, in my opinion, was Franklin's own greed, and then Teddy, who was thirsty for control, and both of them, because they said those two clashing like they were, those two beefing, got everybody else either killed, put in jail, or on the run. Like everybody's life was messed up after that.
When did the trouble in paradise start?
When Franklin first got drugs in his life.
I wouldn't say that. The trouble
because he had to sit there and watch this grown man get raped for information.
That was wild. But the trouble in paradise started when bro went on national syndicated radio and out.
Hey, listen. All thought he was doing, but he said, "I'm clean now. I'm trying to make everybody else in my life clean now," and that's what he was trying to do.
Kenny, let me ask you this. If you are clean and you are changing your life, are you gonna mind your damn business?
Okay, look, me and Alt two different people. I'm not gonna sit there and be like,
bro, everything that you, whether you like it or not, and this is just a drug game, whether you like it or not, anything that you do is going to be funded by crack cocaine. Whether it's your bills.
No, I get that. No, I'm with you on that. That's 100%. Like, and that's why he couldn't. Franklin at that point had no leverage because he said, "What are you gonna do if we take this money from you? You can't do nothing else. Like, you stuck." And that's what he was. He's like, I own you. He's like, I own you. He's like, all your stuff is funded by this crack. He's like, so when you need the plug again, I'll be right here. That's literally how it was. And it's like, dang, I'm stuck.
Who said that? Who said that?
That was pretty much Teddy's goal. He was pretty much like, look,
but Franklin had a out because that real estate shit.
Yeah, he got kicked.
Yeah. Hey,
hello. That real estate shit is really the drug game. Or you can make millions off that real estate.
You flipping. You flipping just like drugs. You flipping stuff.
Yeah, you just flipping stuff. So he really had an out. And I also think Teddy knew he had an out because Teddy knows everything for some reason. He knew everything. So, and I think Teddy knew he had an out.
But he knew without that money, he knew he wasn't going to be able to survive.
Exactly. But if I have this $73 million, Franklin could have. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like you said, you're right.
Yeah, so it's just like he took it, and he took it. Everybody took from him. But look, before we wrap this up, whatever I'm gonna say or whatever we're doing, I'm gonna let you know I called that shit on Boys in the Hood because he said you ain't gonna win no Oscar when they was recording that shit up the block. hey, send the universe. Put that on here from that. Watch that episode too. Boys. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go back and look at it and try to find it. We're gonna end it right here.
I told him
this supposed to be like a 15-minute short.
Yeah. It's been an hour and 19.
Yeah, it was.
But that's the season 6 finale recap. Hey, look, well, Kenny, before you end it, what rating you get a show?
Oh, the show. If we're going out of 5, I'm going 5. The show was phenomenal, and funny thing was I didn't even get into it. Like I wasn't even going to start watching it until I saw it was a clip of Jerome doing something. I said I like that. And I was like, what's this on? And then I saw something else he did. I said, let me stop watching that. I'm gonna go watch this. And I started watching. I was like, Jerome's the best character on the show.
Oh yeah, when he said teach your homeboy how to squabble.
Bro, he said slap your daddy.
Sled. What made you watch the show?
Oh, I was watching Snowfall when it first came out. I'm a John Singleton fan though.
Okay. See, I didn't know he made this. I just was like, oh, this show looks interesting.
I watched Snowfall the first episode to the point where I will watch. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch Snowfall.
Oh, so I have to say what made me watch it was one of the episodes where Franklin was riding around the neighborhood with the cop, and the cop was telling him, the neighbor, what's his name, Andre. He was telling me like, look what you did to the community.
I forgot about him.
And then, right, so this is what made me watch it because I didn't get on it from episode 1. Like it was in season Whatever season that was. That was season 2 then?
Yeah.
About to say, it was season 2 then. And I seen that episode because my mom she had it on, whatever, and I seen it. He was like, so how do you sleep at night? And he
like
said,
a damn baby or something like that.
Like a baby, you feel me?
like
the crackhead mama
baby.
pick up the baby. You seen the crackhead mama pick up the baby and walk away. And I was like, damn, I gotta watch this shit. And it was season 2. It was that episode. I was like, dog, because but right there. But at the same time, the foreshadowing, like you said, he said like a damn baby. And then when Louis said, you the damn devil, when he said, I know. Oh, it was, hey, you just, I know. You see
it shows he manipulated people his own way. Like that's why I said they both was evil in their own way. Like it got to that point. He started off with good intentions, but just like every other drug thing, it always you get sucked into that world, and that's what it was, and ended up being his own downfall. Shout out to Franklin.
I'm gonna give it a goddamn 37.
37. But we gonna end it with we're gonna end it with that. That's sad. I'm gonna just think about it.
We gotta end it with a quote. We gotta end it with a quote, bro, because Franklin went out sad, bro.
Oh, you know, I was gonna
you're not on the sad
note, bro. You want me to get a quote? You want me to get a quote?
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, I'm free, man. He said, first of all, Leon said, now you can't let them take your house. He said, for what? They took everything else?
That's sad. I think he was doing something a little happier.
He said, I'm free, man. I ain't got no chains around my neck. Hey, but the thing is, that's what. But like I said, everybody wanted Franklin. They kept telling him it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And you seen that was the only fight he had in it. That was his fight. That was his drive. So when it wasn't worth it, you see what he ended up being. He gave up.
Brick by brick.
Also said my daddy gave up and hung himself at a plantation like this because he gave up hope, and that was in life. About to say, I was thinking about that the whole time. My daddy gave up hope. Like, hey, that's some real shit, bro. You give up, it's like people give up different ways when you get defeated. That's sad, man. It's sad as fuck. We gonna win us the Oscar one day.
We gonna end it right there. Go ahead. I ain't gonna say. I got something. Go ahead, keep that thing tight. I was gonna think of something else, but you just go ahead and keep that thing tight. That's all you can do at this point. Just go ahead and keep it tight.
Bro, teach your what do you say? Teach your homeboy how to squabble.
Teach your man how to squabble.
Teach your man how to squabble.
Shout out the Tank last night. Hey, I'm about to go grab me a water right quick.
Hey, I gotta leave you. I gotta go reference.